Your dog is at the park. He trots over to another dog. His front paws wrap around the other dog's back. You feel your face go hot. Someone mutters the word dominance. You pull him off apologizing. But the real reason he did it is far stranger. What if mounting isn't about who's the boss? What if it's rarely about control at all? The story you've been told about dogs and dominance is built on a mistake that started decades ago in a forest in Switzerland. In the 1940s, a scientist named Rudolf Schinkel studied captive wolves. He noticed they fought over resources. He coined the term alpha wolf. The idea spread. Dog trainers picked it up. Every growl, every stare, every mount was labeled a power grab. But there was a problem. Those wolves weren't a natural pack. They were unrelated animals thrown together in a small enclosure. Decades later, a biologist named David Mech did his own research. He watched wild wolves for years. He saw families, not tyrants. The so-called alpha pair were simply the parents. They led because they were mom and dad, not because they fought for the throne. Mech wrote a paper in 1999 admitting the alpha concept was wrong. He even asked publishers to stop printing his old book. But the word alpha had already sunk its teeth into everyday language. It had already become a lens that turned every lifted leg and awkward clasp into a story of control. How many dogs were punished for a story that wasn't true? Dogs aren't wolves, of course, but the dominance myth bled into how people see every dog behavior, especially humping. Your dog's body does something embarrassing. People call it dominance because it looks like a takeover, but the real reasons are more tangled and more tender. They start much younger than you'd think. Mounting is a normal canine behavior. Puppies as young as 6 weeks will mount their litter mates. Not for sex, not for status. Play. Pure wriggling play. They mount during wrestling, then tumble off and chase a tail. Ethologist Marc Bekoff has spent decades studying animal play. He notes that mounting is part of the play repertoire for many species. It shows up alongside playbows and zoomies. It means I'm so excited I don't know what to do. It means let's wrestle, let's be silly, let's touch. It means the dog's motor is revving too high for words. In adult dogs, the story gets richer. Mounting can be a sexual behavior, of course, but even neutered and spayed dogs do it. It can be a response to stress. It can be a response to overexcitement. It can be a plea for attention. It can be a physical habit like a child sucking their thumb. Dr. Patricia McConnell, a zoologist and dog behaviorist, explains it plainly. Mounting is often a sign of emotional flooding. A dog whose brain is too full of joy or anxiety. Not a calculated move for power. Think about the last time your dog mounted. Was it during a chaotic gathering? When guests arrived? When a new dog burst onto the scene? When he was overtired at the dog park? That's not a coup. That's a circuit breaker. Your dog's body is trying to release tension the only way it knows. It releases a cascade of calming chemicals, a biological pressure valve. There's a medical angle too. Sometimes mounting signals a physical problem. A urinary tract infection in a female dog. Skin allergies in a male dog. A persistent erection that won't resolve. This isn't behavior. It's a symptom. Vets see it regularly. Here's the twist that confuses everyone. Many dogs who mount are not confident. They're anxious. They're unsure. They're saying, I don't know what to do with these feelings. True social confidence in dogs looks quiet. A steady look, a soft body, a dog who can walk away. The dog who humps the air during a play session, often the one who's overwhelmed, the one who missed a nap, the one who's been at the party too long. And the science that blows this wide open hides something even stranger. So why does your dog still do it at the worst possible moment? Picture a crowded room. Your dog wraps his paws around a couch cushion. The room falls silent. Your face flushes. But it's not a power play. A 2018 study in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior found no correlation between mounting and social status in domestic dogs. Instead, mounting linked to heightened excitement and environmental novelty. The so-called alpha move turns out to be a stress response. A dog under pressure does the very thing you mistake for ambition. Your dog's body speaks when his mind overflows. Humans want simple stories of boss and subordinate. Real social lives don't work that way. Not in wolves, not in dogs, not in humans. When your dog mounts, your own embarrassment rushes in. You feel judged. You imagine others think you have a delinquent dog. So you yank him off and mutter excuses. But the dog isn't reading the room like that. He's not trying to embarrass you. He's trying to cope. And coping is messy. So what should you do when it happens? First, rule out a medical cause with your vet. Then watch the context. Is your dog overwrought? Has he had enough sleep? Is he in a crowded space? Often the fix is simpler than a training protocol. He needs a walk, not a lecture. He needs a quiet room, not a death stare. Redirect gently, without anger. Punishing doesn't touch the root. It just adds more stress to an already stressed animal. Dr. McConnell advises teaching a dog to go to a mat or settle instead. Give the brain something else to do with all that static. A frozen Kong, a chew, a quiet game of scent work. Something that says you're safe. Put your energy here. Mounting is ancient. It predates dominance theories. It predates dogs. In wolves and wild canids, playful mounting strengthens social bonds. It rehearses coordination. It builds trust. A young wolf who mounts a tolerant adult is learning who he can rely on. It's a social probe, not a weapon. Your dog inherited that toolkit, but the context changed. He lives on a sofa, not a tundra. His audience is you, not a pack. The act itself hasn't changed. The meaning hasn't changed. Only your interpretation is new, and your interpretation is often wrong. You see a power move. The dog experiences a sneeze of the emotional system. Let's go back to the park. Your dog wraps his paws around the other dog. This time, you don't see a tyrant. You see a creature from an ancient line, swimming in feelings he can't name. You see a body built for play that sometimes misfires. You see a question. Not who's in charge, but what do I do with all this? Next time it happens and your face flushes, pause. You know the stress behind those paws, the ancient whisper of an overwhelmed mind. But what if this time you heard something new? And if you listen, you'll hear something surprising. A sound from 30,000 years of shared history. Not a growl of ambition, but a whisper of the wild. The same whisper that says your dog is at the park, paws around another, and all he's ever wanted is to be understood. Key moments. Keyword, far stranger, sentence. 7, keyword, a mistake, sentence. 10, keyword, play, sentence. 41, keyword, not confident, sentence. 79, keyword, no correlation, sentence. 96, keyword, stress response. Sentence. 98, keyword, whisper of the wild, sentence. 158, keyword, to be understood, sentence. 159. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel. There's much more to discover.